So I'm going to take the first piece here, which is the reservations piece. And one of the first things that I really want to spend a little bit of time talking with you about is our CRM capabilities. And we will continue to come back to this topic throughout the presentation as we can show you various aspects of what we consider to be the functions that support customer relationship management inside of Barefoot. But when we start, we're actually looking at the first page that you see when you log into Barefoot. I am Claiborne, obviously. I've logged in today. And in this scenario, I want you to go ahead and pretend that I am a reservationist. The first things that I see when I log in are things that I need to take care of during the day or to follow up and make sure that things are being done. This is what we call our reminders capability, and it is the first piece of what I consider so crucial to our customer relationship management, and that is facilitating communication and facilitating processes that allow you to be proactive, whether you're dealing with your owners or your incoming guests or your potential guests. Those are all of your customers. So as you know, there are a lot of details that make a very successful vacation rental management program. And if you can manage those details proactively rather than in a crisis mode, you're just functioning much more efficiently. So again, what you see over here are what we call our reminders. I can assign them to someone else. I can assign them to myself to remind myself to do something, and other folks can assign items to me. This is a great tool to keep me focused on the things that need to happen, the little extras that make vacation special for your tenants and make the customer service superior for your owners. You also can see up here, I do have a work order. We will get into the work order system, but there's a lot of good beginnings here for creating good communication. Over here, we also have the box where you as a corporation can communicate out information, whether that's a contest or something that's very important for the entire team to know. You can set those messages to have date ranges so that they can turn on and turn off automatically. And you can set this to show for particular roles inside of Barefoot. So maybe only managers need to see a particular message, for example. And then down here we have a space where we provide news to you guys when we have updates or things that need to be communicated from Barefoot to you about the system. So this is primarily a dashboard that facilitates communication. Okay, moving ahead, I am, as I said, a reservationist. I have just come in. I've jumped on with my headset, and I get my first telephone call. This is going to be something where I'm trying to show you how easy it is to come in and make a reservation. So I have a woman on the phone. Her last name is Taylor. I'm going to go ahead and fill that out and do a quick search. And you can see that I get all the results for anyone with the last name of Taylor in our system. In this instance, I'm talking to Carly Taylor. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Carly's record. On the left-hand side, you can see that Carly has a lot of information in here, her telephone number, her phone number, her address. I can also see some information down here about things that have happened with Carly in the comments section. On the right-hand side, if she had someone else, a spouse or a significant other that we needed to be tracking, we could have that information in here. And then I want to kind of focus again here because this is another element of our CRM. We have unlimited attributes inside of the Barefoot system, and they can be built out on the guest information page, the owner information page, and the property information page. In this particular database, we have some amenities that are internal or attributes that are internal. I need to know that she's a potential home buyer, for example, or she's a VIP. I also want to know some things about her that I would just call regular customer demographic information. She's a dog lover. So I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and start talking about dogs or something like that while I'm on the phone with her. We also have a rewards points program. When that is implemented inside of our Barefoot system, that actually is going to tell me that she has a bunch of reservations that she stayed with us before, and she has certain amounts of rewards points. So lots of information about Carly here to facilitate my conversation. Carly is coming, and she would like to come in August. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the calendar here, select the date that she wants to come in to stay with us. I'm going to select 7 days, and it will automatically fill out the departure date. There are a lot of other places where I can come in and start to search and sort and query against the database to get certain types of properties for Carly, including the number of bedrooms, for example, or she's looking for a particular rate. I can also affect the sort order with which I see things. So I can sort these by the rate, I can sort them by unit code, I can randomly sort, I can sort them by property type. But keep in mind that Carly has a good friend who's a four-legged friend named Sam. Sam is actually going to be coming with Carly on her vacation. And Carly also has a long history of wanting to stay in Perdido Beach. So I'm going to go ahead and select those 2 items. Remember, these are attributes that you build. These are property types, for example, and these are different areas. So I go ahead and I click on search, and I get a result set. These are all of the properties that meet the criteria that Carly is the most interested in. So I am still on the phone with Carly, and I mentioned to her that a couple of these properties might make sense for her to stay in. She says, great, can you send me some information about that? Just by clicking on those checkboxes and hitting email prospect, she would get information about those properties. It could be that she's saying that she needs to take some time. She needs a couple days to take a look at something. If that's the case, I would just go ahead and save her search profile, because it's likely that within a couple of days, when she calls back in or we call her back, that some of these properties will have been booked. But if I come back to her record, I could come very quickly over here and reload her search profile when she calls back in, saving you significant amounts of time. And also making sure that she feels like you really do know her and know what she's interested in. I can also save these as favorites. Sort of the same thing. It might be that she is more interested in the property than the dates that she travels. But just to keep this very simple, we're going to go ahead. We're going to come in here, and I am going to click on the book button. Now, we are in a quote. We will spend a lot of time on this page as we continue to move throughout this demo. But what I want to point out here is that we can actually do a lot of things with this reservation from this quote page. On the left-hand side, these are functions that we can perform against this quote. I can add in additional text to the contract. I can add in provisions, like I would do that for the pet policy here. And then this is where we manage some of the communication associated with this particular reservation. On the right-hand side, I am seeing information about how the charges are calculated associated with this particular quote. I can come in here if I was speaking with Carly and she told me that she needed to add in a coupon. We could come over here and select a coupon and add that into our record. And I'll come back and show that to you again. I also might want to track her source of business. This is where I would do that for this particular reservation. She might tell me that she's a repeat guest. We know that already. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to finish the booking because Carly is ready to go ahead and book this property. Now, one of the really neat things about Barefoot is we do a great job of managing the upsell of services or concierge items. So in this box, this is just a prompt to remind someone who's on the phone that there are lots of options for upsell on this particular reservation. And by selecting one of those, that will actually get added into the reservation. And Carly mentions to me that she might have some concerns about traveling. I go ahead and suggest to her that it might be a good idea to go ahead and take some travel insurance on this particular reservation. So we do that, and then what's happening right now is our folio or our reservation is being recalculated to add in the travel insurance. Okay, and we can see that right down here. If we go ahead, we've gone ahead and made this a reservation. Carly is ready to make payment. It's very easy to come right here. You can select different payment types. For this particular demo, we're going to go ahead and take cash, just because we don't have anything actually connected to a demo database. And then we can see that the payment has been made, and I can quickly and easily send her an email with that receipt. I also might want to go ahead and create an internal comment. I want to put something in there for the arrival report that says doggy gift basket. And this will actually get added into our arrival report. So just by a quick comment like that, I can come back in, take a look at my reservation right here, and I see that note. This will also appear on the arrival list for when Carly is coming in. And it's just a great way to have all of those special touches. I could also create a reminder for myself so that I could do something, maybe write a little note or something like that to send along with the doggy gift basket to be delivered before her arrival, and that would show up in my reminder list. Okay, so that's pretty much it for going through a fairly typical reservation. I'm going to go ahead and close out on a couple of these tabs and come back in and take a look at Carly's guest information. Now, she has told me that she's in charge of also planning for a girls' weekend that she has coming up this fall, and she'd love to bring her girlfriends down to the area where she loves to vacation. So we're going to go ahead and follow this same process where we go do a quick search, and I could have used her favorited search, or I could just come back in here and build another search. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in some dates. She's coming in October, and she wants to stay for 4 nights. Now, what we're doing here in this particular reservation is she's going to need more than one house. So we are going to be looking for more than one property that she can put together as a group reservation. So we're going to go ahead and select a couple of these and go ahead and do that right here. And we'll come up here and we'll just do a multi-book. Now, I'm going to need to add Carly's name into into this particular reservation, and I can add in other folks along with her as well. So I can look up Carly, quickly grab her, go, there she is. But then I can also add in other folks onto this reservation, okay? And the more people that I add onto this reservation, I will actually be able to send them information as a group as long as we are maintaining this reservation as we are leading up to their arrival. So I can add in additional folks as well. I can come in here and select these two and I can finish booking them as a group reservation. And then I can also assign different tenants to these properties. I can appoint tenants to them if there's more than one, and I can actually take payments and apply payments to different properties. I can add additional reservations as well. So lots of functionality here, lots of good mechanisms to keep your group reservations on track. And provide some efficiencies for your accounting department or any accounting department. Now, I'm going to finish up with the reporting capabilities. The reporting capabilities inside of Barefoot are very extensive. The first place that we would look for some information about leases or tenants is on our search for reservation page. You can see on the left-hand side, these are all sorts of information about owner last names or check-in office or the staff person. But we also have this whole concept of arrival dates, departure dates, when it was quoted, the contract date, and all sorts of other ways to slice and dice information down here, including the ability to apply these only to certain reservation types, maybe look for and/or statements and some other things down here, these and/or statements in terms of stages. And then again, these amenities or these attributes are also available on this page. But one of the reports that we think is kind of useful is the ability to take a look at reservations that may have money due to them now. So we'll go ahead and select a date range, and we have the due now report, and we can see that these have money due. So there's things that need to be worked on in terms of these reservations. Okay. If I came back up here and went back to our report, I could also look for reservations that have transpired in particular rent amounts. So if I'm looking for anybody that's had rent greater than $1,000 and between $1,000 and $2,500, and I'm also going to set a date range, maybe from January just 1st through where we are today, just to give us a good broad data set. So I will, whoops, I meant to go ahead and change that to July. And go ahead and do a quick search there. And these are all of the folks that had at least $1,000 to spend to stay with me, up to $2,500. And I might select all of these folks to do an email campaign to let them know that there's a new property that would meet their criteria.